Welcome back. He's never had a license and was stopped again and again. Then a young father died in a crash.
The driver now says he wishes police had stopped him sooner. Tonight from prison, Navaris Campbell opens up to 12 News investigative reporter James Stratton. James, you have a new perspective from your reporting.
And we do. From him himself, our 2-year-long investigation has tracked the systemic failures that allowed people like Campbell to keep repeating their crimes. That statewide loophole now closed after our reporting. Tonight, the case that shattered a family by an unlicensed driver who says it all could have been prevented. The photos show the moment Hannah Marsden's life changed forever. A white van speeding at 64 miles per hour at 76th and Florist, crashing into this gold Buick carrying Taylor Poirier.
It's Taylor's full name, birth date, death date, and his last heartbeat from his EKG.
Marsden, the mother of Poirier's kids who were in the back seat, was pregnant with twins at the time.
He was the best dad ever. I mean, the kids wanted to go anywhere he went.
The older kids severely hurt, but survived.
I think they're coming to terms with the fact that dad being gone is something that's permanent now. And, you know, there really is no way to explain it to them. They pretty much understand.
The van driver should have never been behind the wheel.
Right, you've been cited 20 times for operating after revocation. It's more of a matter of when you're gonna get into an accident, running red lights like that, and seriously hurt somebody.
Navaris Campbell was ticketed 27 times, yet still on the road.
Do you feel bad that you killed him, or do you feel bad that you got caught?
Judge Michelle Havis sentenced Campbell, 23 at the time of the crash, to 20 years. Campbell, one of an untold number of illegal drivers driving an illegal loophole 12 News has investigated for more than 2 years. Repeat offenders without licenses getting traffic tickets instead of criminal charges because of policy gaps. We typically only hear from suspects through police body camera video or court appearances. It's the only way we've heard from the suspect in this case, Navaris Campbell, until now. From the Racine Correctional Center, Campbell agreed to speak with 12 News. I'm James. Nice to meet you. He's the only unlicensed loophole driver.
What's your last name? Campbell, C-A-M-P-B-E-L-L.
To respond to request for an interview. His life also changed forever.
Not a day that go past I don't think about what happened that day. And I wish I could have done things differently and would have done things differently.
Campbell says he was late to work the day of that deadly crash.
I do, fault myself for speeding, and things could have probably been different if I wasn't speeding.
Saying he didn't know he was driving in that legal loophole, but did know he was receiving tickets instead of charges, yet kept on driving. He claims the tickets started stacking up. He and his brother were both giving his identity to police before he had a license. Campbell kept driving to get to work, landscaping jobs, to provide for his 7 kids.
It's almost like a slap on the wrist. So when you get too many slaps on the wrist, it turns into like, okay, it shouldn't get no more worse than this. That's how I was thinking.
You're telling me that misdemeanor charge might have woken you up to stop driving?
Yes.
The State Department of Transportation had classified drivers like Campbell as suspended. After 12 News exposed that legal loophole, the state changed it. Milwaukee police also made the change, arresting nearly 20 times more drivers this year.
The reckless driving in Wisconsin, it needs to stop. And I hope that my story can change other people's lives.
What would you say to him?
That in the future, I hope he makes better choices so that something like this doesn't happen again.
Marsden now left to take care of her twins alone. Ultimately, he was sent away for what happened, 20 years. Is that enough?
Nothing will ever be enough. Nothing can compare to what I've lost, what my children have lost. There's no time that could make up for that.
Campbell, 2 years into his 20-year sentence because of a choice that forever changed his life.
I don't think I forgave myself because, like I said, I took a man away from his family.
And changed the life of the friends and family of Taylor Poirier. Do you think what if?
Yeah, all the time. I think how different life would be. My kids would still have their dad. I would still have him.
Really important perspective there, James. The loophole in state law changed because of your reporting. And as you mentioned, police are arresting more drivers now.
Both Milwaukee Police and the Milwaukee County Sheriff's Office are arresting more. Hannah Marsden, who you just heard from in that piece, says she's encouraged by that increase. The overall goal here, though, of the reporting to take those dangerous drivers off the streets and potentially save lives out on the roadways.
All right, some solid reporting, James. Great follow-up. Appreciate it. Investigative reporter James Stratton here tonight. And we've posted all of James's reporting in this series for you to watch on the 12 News mobile app. Just scroll to the Investigates tab.